mission, the Monster. It's rough.
3 missions in your first 3 days. 120 men dead in one afternoon.
Hello. This video contains spoilers for Master of the Air Episode 5. What happens to Robert Rosie Rosenthal after Masters of the Air Episode 5? In Masters of the Air, Robert Rosie Rosenthal is the only pilot whose jet escapes the Munster raid. What happened to him after Episode 5? Here is a summary of the contents. The Munster raid was a risky mission during Black Week, and the 100th Bomb Group sustained heavy losses. Despite the odds, Robert Rosie Rosenthal survived the Munster raid and completed 52 missions, more than the customary 25. Following World War II, Rosenthal maintained his service by assisting with the Nuremberg trials and began a family with his wife, whom he met during the trials. During Masters of the Air Episode 5, the 100th Bomb Group embarks on their third mission in as many days, the Munster raid, with only one plane returning to Thorpe Abbotts, piloted by Robert Rosie Rosenthal, who went on to survive World War II and complete many other notable missions. The Munster raid was the third mission of what was dubbed Black Week. During these few days, the 100th and other American Air Force men suffered significant losses during numerous perilous missions. Rosenthal and his crew survived despite the ongoing calamity. The Munster raid, like many other 100th operations, began with the soldiers at a disadvantage. Because the group had already lost a few planes on the last Bremen raid, they were only able to send 17 planes into the Munster raid instead of the required 2021. Then, during the trip, 4 planes returned due to mechanical difficulties. Only Rosenthal's plane, Royal Flush, returned to base and reported on the fate of the other 13 that arrived in Munster. While some of the 100th were able to leave their planes, others were not as fortunate. From episodes 3 to 4, Masters of the Air takes a large time jump from August to October to show the 100th worst week of the war. Rosenthal finished his 25 missions and then kept going. Robert Rosie Rosenthal became one of the most accomplished members of the 100th Bomb Group. After surviving the Munster raid, his third mission with the 100th, he continued to fly. Rosenthal not only flew the regular 25 missions that permitted a soldier to return home as capped. Glenn Dye did, but he also accomplished an additional 52 flights in total. Rosenthal served in the United States Army Air Forces from 1941 to 1945, when the war ended. The Munster raid was not his only important endeavor, however. In September 1944, Rosenthal was flying a plane that was shot down over German-occupied France. Despite breaking his arm and nose, Rosenthal was able to return to duty with the support of the Free French. Later, in February 1945, while flying his second-to-last mission to bomb Berlin, Rosenthal's plane caught fire. He stayed with the plane until they reached their bombing target, and he fled within seconds of the plane exploding. Rosenthal was once again spared by the Allied forces and promptly returned to service. Nate Mann, an American actor, plays Robert Rosie Rosenthal. What Rosie Rosenthal did after WW2. Nate Mann portrays Robert Rosenthal in Masters of the Air. Rosenthal's duty continued even after the war was over. Though the battle ended in 1945, Rosenthal stayed in Europe to help in the Nuremberg trials. While there, he personally questioned Hermann Goering. He also met his wife at the trials, who worked in the Women's Reserve of the United States Navy and was a lawyer. When they returned to the United States, the couple had 3 children together. Masters of the Air portrays Robert Rosie Rosenthal's narrative as one of the most remarkable in the century's gloomy history. Thank you for watching.